Tonight, we're revealing the top 7 BTS musical legends, the voices, the talent, and the hidden genius behind the global phenomenon. Who truly dominates the K-pop stage? Who hits every note with emotions so powerful it stops you in your tracks? And who claims the shocking #1 spot that will completely change how you see BTS forever? This isn't just a ranking, it's a journey into sweat, sleepless nights, secret struggles, and the untold stories behind the music that moved millions. From the studio to the stage, each member left a mark that defines an era. Ready to uncover the hidden legends of BTS? Let's dive in. Number 7. Suga. The silent architect of emotion, Suga lands at number 7 not because he lacks brilliance, but because his genius often hides behind the quiet, steady glow of someone who never seeks the spotlight, yet somehow defines it. When we talk about musical legends, most people picture explosive performers, high notes that shake arenas, or dances that slice through the air like lightning. But Suga's weapon has always been different. The razor-sharp honesty of his pen, the haunting depth of his production, and the emotional weight he carries into every track he touches. Long before BTS filled stadiums, Suga was already shaping his identity through music created in cramped rooms with old equipment, surviving on instant ramen and stubborn ambition. He didn't dream of fame. He dreamed of sound, of capturing the rawest forms of truth, the kind that makes listeners stop mid-breath because suddenly the lyrics feel like they were written just for them. His story is stitched with late-night studio sessions, injuries he hid behind jokes, and a relentless desire to create something that outlives him. What makes Suga legendary isn't just his skill, but the world he builds inside every beat. Listen closely, and you'll notice how he layers emotions like a painter, melancholy blended with hope, frustration dissolved into resilience, darkness cracked open by the smallest glimmer of light. In BTS's discography, you can hear his fingerprints everywhere, from the cinematic hip-hop foundations of their early years to the atmospheric, introspective tones that would later define an entire era of their sound. The most beautiful moment in life? His influence is in its heartbeat. Tomorrow? His pain turned into inspiration. Sisa? His vulnerability disguised in a deceptively smooth melody. And then there's August D, the alter ego he created not to escape, but to confront himself fully. Through that persona, Suga let the world see his demons without apology, expressing the kind of truths most artists avoid because they are too sharp, too personal, too real. His impact isn't measured by how loud he stands on stage, but by how deeply his lyrics echo long after the music stops. Fans don't just listen to Suga, they confide in him. They heal with him. They grow because of him. He's the kind of musical legend who doesn't need to shout to shake the world. He whispers, and somehow it hits harder than thunder. He knows exactly when to stay soft and when to strike with intensity. He knows what it means to break and still move forward. And that is why his artistry is timeless, because it comes from a place untouched by trends or temporary fame. Suga may be number 7, but he is the foundation, the quiet storm, the emotional architect whose presence in BTS proves that sometimes the most powerful creators are the ones who never ask for recognition, yet define the sound of a generation with every note they craft. Number 6. Jimin. The velvet voice that cuts deeper than you expect. Jimin sits at number 6, but don't let the position fool you. His musical impact is far bigger than anyone who only sees the surface might realize. Jimin isn't just the angelic voice of BTS. He is the emotional crescendo, the trembling breath before the high note, the softness that somehow hits harder than any power vocal ever could. When he sings, it feels like the world slows down for a moment, like he's whispering directly into your heart, telling stories you didn't even know belonged to you. His tone, light, airy, yet precise, is one of the most recognizable in modern K-pop. It's the kind of voice producers dream of working with because it carries a rare balance of fragility and intensity. One moment, he sounds like a falling feather. The next, he slices through a chorus with crystal clarity. That duality didn't come naturally. Jimin trained himself into becoming a vocal phenomenon. Years of sleepless nights, hours in front of mirrors, Endless repetition, practicing breathing, practicing vibrato, practicing how to express emotion without letting it break his technique. He worked harder than anyone knew because he always felt he had to catch up, had to improve, had to push past the doubts that clung to him in the early days. And in doing so, he didn't just catch up, he became one of BTS's most expressive performers. His role in BTS's music is more than hitting the right notes. It's about delivering the emotional core of a song. Listen to Lie, and you'll hear a man tearing his soul open for the world. Listen to Serendipity, and you'll feel warmth blooming in your chest like sunlight breaking through clouds. Listen to Promise, and you can sense the quiet loneliness and healing woven through every lyric. Jimin sings like he remembers what it feels like to be human in all the complicated ways. Fearful, hopeful, longing, lost, alive. On stage, he transforms. His voice moves with his body, and his body moves with his emotions. The way he dances and sings at the same time, never losing control, never losing storytelling, is something only a handful of performers in the world can do. He doesn't just perform music, he paints it, breathes it, lives it. Every gesture feels intentional. Every glance feels like part of the melody. That's why fans get emotional watching him, because there's sincerity in everything he does, a kind of honesty you can't fake. And then there's his solo achievements. Jimin shattered records with his debut solo album, becoming the first Korean soloist to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that his artistry stands strong even when stripped away from the group identity. It was a historic moment, not just for him, but for K-pop, showing that vulnerability, elegance, and emotional storytelling could dominate a global chart usually filled with high-energy anthems. Jimin is #6 not because he lacks impact, but because his power lies in nuance. He doesn't need explosive vocals or aggressive production to make you feel something. He just needs one note, one breath, one moment. And suddenly, you're not just listening to music, you're feeling it in places you didn't expect. He is the velvet voice, the emotional anchor, the performer who turns softness into a weapon and vulnerability into legend. #5, RM, the mind behind the music. Landing at #5 is the man whose brain practically runs on rhythm and poetry, RM, the philosopher-rapper who turned his inner chaos into one of the most influential musical identities in K-pop history. RM's position here isn't about ranking his power above or below the others. It's about understanding the unique role he plays in the very skeleton of BTS's sound. He is the compass, the architect, the translator of thoughts too heavy for ordinary words. When people talk about musical legends, they usually think of vocal acrobatics or high-octane performances, but RM's legend comes from something deeper, the ability to transform human experience into lyrics that hit with the force of a confession and the beauty of a poem. His artistry is carved from years of scribbling in notebooks, agonizing over metaphors, reading philosophy at dawn, and wrestling with big questions most people spend their whole lives avoiding. RM grew up surrounded by expectations, pressures, and the unspoken weight of being gifted. Instead of breaking under it, he turned it into music, raw, heavy, unforgettable. His early days as an underground rapper shaped him into someone who never sugarcoated the truth. He didn't want fame. He wanted expression. He wanted honesty. He wanted to say something real in a world that often rewards the exact opposite. And that honesty became the backbone of BTS. Listen to Spring Day, and you'll feel the depth of longing he helped craft. Listen to Intro, Persona, and you'll hear the sound of a man trying to make peace with himself. Listen to Trivia, Love, and suddenly the concept of love feels like a philosophical thesis wrapped in rhythm. RM doesn't write lyrics, he builds universes. His mind sees connections others overlook, turning identity, loss, growth, and uncertainty into lyrics that fans use as lifelines. He once said he writes because he's afraid he'll disappear if he doesn't, and that vulnerability echoes through every verse he creates. His leadership in the studio is legendary. He's the type who walks in with 1,000 ideas but listens twice as much as he speaks. He guides without forcing, shapes without overshadowing, and inspires by simply working harder than anyone else. When BTS experimented with new genres, alternative pop, emo rap, funky retro, intense hip-hop, RM was always one of the first to dive headfirst into the unknown. He trusted music like it was a living thing, something to chase, something to wrestle with until it revealed its truth. And then there are his solo achievements. Mono wasn't just an album, it was an emotional shelter for millions of fans who felt lost in their own storms. Indigo became a collection of moments, collaborations, and introspections stitched into a mature, soulful masterpiece that proved RM wasn't just a rapper. He was a curator of feeling. What makes RM a musical legend isn't just the songs he writes or the lines he spits. It's the courage to show his thoughts unfiltered, to let the world see his flaws, to turn doubt into art and insecurity into strength. He's the thinker, the storyteller, the heartbeat of the group's message. He is the reason BTS's music doesn't just sound good. It means something. RM sits at number 5, but without him, the entire story of BTS's musical evolution would be incomplete. He is the mind behind the music, and his influence will echo long after the final note fades. Number 4, Jhope, the sun that powers the beat. Jhope claims number 4, and just like the name suggests, he's the literal sunshine in BTS's musical universe, a radiant force whose energy, rhythm, and versatility bring songs to life in ways that are impossible to ignore. While others may captivate with emotion, introspection, or sheer vocal prowess, Jhope hits you with motion, movement, and an unstoppable heartbeat that transforms every track he touches into a living, breathing performance. His story begins in Gwangju, where young Hoseok trained relentlessly to dance, to move, to embody music as more than sound, but as energy. Every practice room he ever entered became a laboratory, every beat a formula to perfect, and every stumble a lesson in resilience. When he joined BTS, he wasn't just a rapper or a dancer. He became the kinetic force, the spark that turns a good song into an unforgettable moment. Listening to Jhope's solos or his rap verses is like watching sunlight ripple across water, bright, warm, and full of life, but with hidden layers beneath the surface. Tracks like Daydream reveal his playful side, blending humor with melody and effortless flow. Hope World proves he's not just a performer, but a creator capable of constructing entire universes of sound, imagination, and emotion. And then there's his stage presence, an infectious aura that compels both audience and fellow members alike. Every step, every gesture, every smile is choreographed not just to entertain, but to communicate, to make the listener feel movement, emotion, and rhythm in tandem. Jhope's musical genius is not limited to performance. He's a composer, a producer, and a lyricist who understands how to balance light and shadow in his songs. His versatility allows him to shift from rap to pop to alternative beats seamlessly, all while maintaining his signature energy that keeps listeners hooked from start to finish. In BTS's group work, Jhope is often the glue that makes the ensemble shine. His raps add punch without overwhelming, his dances complement rather than dominate, and his laughter, his spark, his optimism all seep into the recordings, giving them a sense of life that cannot be manufactured. And behind the sunlit persona lies someone who's endured doubts, criticism, and the constant pressure of being a global performer. Yet, he channels all of it into music, turning struggles into motivation, self-doubt into creativity, and energy into a force field that shields the group while propelling them forward. That's why Jhope is not just a member who contributes to BTS's music. He is the kinetic soul of it, the heartbeat that keeps everything moving, the kind of musical legend whose light touches everyone without ever overshadowing them. Number May 4th seem high, but anyone who's ever felt their spirits lifted mid-song knows. Without Jhope, the music wouldn't just lose its shine, it would lose its pulse entirely. Number 3, Jin, the voice that echoes beyond time. Coming in at number 3 is Jin, the eldest member of BTS, whose musical prowess is often underestimated because of his playful, worldwide handsome image. But beneath the charm and the smiles lies a voice that can stop time, a vocal instrument so precise, warm, and emotionally resonant that it has the power to carry an entire song on its own. Jin's journey in music wasn't easy. He didn't start as a trained singer. He joined Big Hit with potential, raw talent, and determination, and transformed himself into one of K-pop's most reliable vocalists through sheer discipline. Countless hours in the studio, repetition after repetition, recording the same lines until they became effortless, sculpted Jin into someone whose singing could convey a spectrum of emotions: joy, melancholy, nostalgia, even quiet desperation, all in the span of a single phrase. What makes Jin extraordinary is not just technical ability, but emotional connectivity. Listen to his solos like Epiphany, and you feel the human struggle of self-acceptance mirrored in your own life. In Awake, he doesn't just sing. He projects hope, yearning, and perseverance simultaneously, creating a narrative that lingers long after the last note fades. His voice has this rare quality that seems to hug listeners, to reach into the quiet corners of a heart that thought it was alone. And Jin's contributions extend beyond singing. In BTS's discography, he has taken part in songwriting, concept ideation, and even coaching fellow members in vocal delivery. He understands the anatomy of a song, the emotional rhythm, and the subtle power of a note sung at the right moment. His presence in ballads is unmatched, but he can also glide seamlessly into upbeat tracks, providing harmonies that elevate the entire ensemble. On stage, Jin's singing becomes a bridge between performers and fans. You don't just hear his voice, you feel it, carrying a story, a feeling, a memory shared silently with millions. And behind all the charisma is relentless dedication. He practices tirelessly, never settling for mediocrity, always pushing himself to new heights to ensure every note lands perfectly, every phrase resonates authentically. Jin may be number 3, but in terms of sheer vocal mastery and the emotional weight he brings to BTS's music, he is a pillar, a testament to the power of persistence, sensitivity, and artistry. His voice doesn't just accompany music, it defines moments, etches memories, and lingers in hearts long after the show is over. Jin is living proof that sometimes the most understated musical legends are the ones whose impact stretches far beyond what the eyes can see and the ears can hear. Number 2, Taehyung, the soulful chameleon of sound. At number 2, we find Taehyung, or V, a member whose musical identity is a kaleidoscope of emotions, textures, and colors that few artists in the world can rival. V's voice isn't just a sound. It's a mood, a living, breathing entity that can transform the atmosphere of a room or the entire feel of a song in a single note. He's the kind of singer whose tone is immediately recognizable, deep, smoky, and velvety, with a warmth that makes you feel like he's telling secrets meant only for you. But what truly sets Taehyung apart is his ability to morph seamlessly between genres and styles. One moment, he's delivering a jazz-infused croon in Stigma, dripping with melancholy and longing. The next, he's hitting heart-ripping high notes in Singularity, blending R&B and pop with a haunting elegance that lingers in the memory. Unlike many singers who rely purely on technical prowess, V's magic lies in expression. He doesn't just sing words, he conveys entire universes of emotion, making listeners feel joy, sadness, desire, or nostalgia, often simultaneously. His artistry is the result of a deeply personal journey. Taehyung has spoken about the pressure of debuting young, learning to navigate fame, and discovering himself amidst global attention. Music became his refuge, his diary, and his mirror, allowing him to explore emotions he couldn't otherwise express. He pours that vulnerability into every recording, turning tracks into immersive emotional experiences. Beyond his vocals, Taehyung's musical intuition shines in composition and experimentation. He's fascinated with blending sounds, exploring unconventional melodies, and creating atmospheres that are both modern and timeless. Songs like Winter Bear and his work in Blue and Gray show his sensitivity to texture, emotion, and storytelling, proof that he's not just a performer, but a curator of feeling. On stage, V's presence amplifies every note. He doesn't just sing, he inhabits the music, letting every gesture, gaze, and breath contribute to the story. Fans often describe watching him perform as witnessing an artist in pure dialogue with his audience, where words are unnecessary and emotion alone tells the tale. Taehyung's impact is global, yet deeply intimate. His voice reaches millions, yet feels like a private gift to each listener. He can carry a song on his own, but he also elevates the group, adding layers of depth that turn BTS's music from excellent to transcendent. Number 2 is no small feat, but Taehyung earns it because he represents the kind of musical legend who doesn't just perform music, he transforms it, leaving traces of his soul embedded in every note. In a world where technical skill is often valued above emotion, V proves that feeling can be just as powerful, just as timeless, and infinitely more unforgettable. Number 1, Jungkook, the golden voice that redefines legends. And here we arrive at number 1, the crown jewel of BTS's musical universe, none other than Jungkook, the golden magne whose voice, versatility, and artistry have made him a phenomenon that transcends generations, borders, and expectations. Calling Jungkook just a singer feels almost like an insult. He is a complete musical instrument, capable of delivering soaring high notes, delicate falsettos, husky textures, and punchy midtones with equal mastery. But what really sets him apart, the reason he stands at the top, is not just his technical brilliance, it's the emotion, dedication, and intuitive musicality that seems almost supernatural for someone so young. From the very beginning, Jungkook's journey was one of relentless determination. Debuting as a teenager, he faced the enormous pressure of performing alongside older, more experienced members, yet he never faltered. Instead, he turned that pressure into fuel, spending countless hours in practice rooms, experimenting with his voice, analyzing music, and pushing his limits until every note carried both precision and soul. Over the years, Jungkook has evolved into a chameleon of sound. Need raw, heart-wrenching emotion? His rendition of Euphoria or My Time will leave you breathless, feeling as though he's singing directly from your own heart. Need power and intensity? Tracks like On showcase his ability to deliver strength and stamina without losing clarity or tone. He can navigate pop, R&B, ballads, and even jazz-like nuances effortlessly, a testament not just to talent, but to an artist's intuition and relentless pursuit of excellence. But what truly cements Jungkook as a legend is his uncanny ability to connect with listeners. Fans often describe his singing as intimate, personal, almost confessional. When Jungkook hits a note, it isn't just sound. It's a story, an emotion, a mirror of what you feel but might not be able to express. And his influence extends far beyond his own performances. His contributions as a songwriter, producer, and collaborator show an artist constantly exploring new boundaries, experimenting with melody, and shaping the future of BTS's sound. Jungkook's solos don't just impress, they inspire. Stay Alive became an anthem of perseverance, while countless covers and live performances demonstrate his dedication to evolving as a musician and connecting with audiences in real time. Even stage presence becomes music with Jungkook. Every gesture, every look, every movement seems choreographed to complement his voice, to heighten the emotional impact, to make the audience not just watch but feel, breathe, and live each moment alongside him. Number 1 is not a mere position. It's recognition of someone whose talent, work ethic, emotion, and intuition converge to create a musical experience unlike anything else. Jungkook is more than the golden magne. He is a living, breathing legend whose voice defines an era, whose artistry reshapes expectations, and whose presence reminds the world why music isn't just heard, it's felt, experienced, and remembered. When you hear Jungkook sing, you're not just listening. You're witnessing the evolution of a musical titan, a force so commanding yet so pure that it will resonate long after the final note fades. He is, without question, the apex of BTS's musical legends, and the shock, the awe, and the inspiration he brings are unparalleled, forever changing how we see K-pop and forever setting a standard that is nothing short of legendary.